Hi, welcome back to Gadget Mad Lad. Essentially, last episode we threw back together the Game Boy DS, not put the back cover back on yet. I've obviously the back screwed back on, but not the battery cover. But just to show you it working. We're all good. It now turns on. And we can also adjust the brightness. So that's no problem. And it's cut a long story short. One sec, let's turn this off. There we go, beautiful. Right, so let's move that off the camera. Cut a long story short, my next couple of videos, I'm planning to make all of the different variations of the Game Boy Macro. All the variations I can find on the internet anyway, so my next video was going to consist of me doing one of these. And I've got another one there I'm going to turn as well. This one I want to modify and keep it as a DS, which we'll do a video about separately, but essentially I've got a DSi and a DSi XL as well. But my problem is this: I've managed to dig out a charger for these, the DSi and the DSi XL, because they take the same battery. And I had one battery between the two of them, one that was originally for the DSi XL, but it fitted in the slot of this one, so I was able to get some charge into it and turn it on and check. And on this one, the top screen's smashed, but the bottom screen is totally fine, so strikes me as a perfect candidate for a variation of the Game Boy Macro, which hasn't actually got a Game Boy Advance slot on it. So that's an interesting one, I think, myself. But I've seen videos on it on YouTube, but I've not actually seen anyone documenting how they do it. So I figured people might be interested in seeing that. But this will be like the last of the series that I'm doing in regards to these, because unfortunately this one here, smashed top screen and smashed bottom screen. But I've been looking on Amazon to try and find a replacement part, because I'm not that essentially wise about shopping online. I don't really know how to. I sound like an old fogey, so I don't know. But Amazon's essentially the only thing that I can really get me head around, for online shopping. And they don't have parts for this, so I've got to wait till I come across a spare part for it, because I'm only gonna use the bottom screen out of it and essentially turn this into a macro as well. It's the XL version of the DS I've got, but this one I can definitely do. So I'll get to the point anyway. So let's move this off screen, because this is for another time. Let's move this off for another time. But they're all planning to be macros. Macro madness. Crazy. Everyone gets a macro. Right, so these, the problem I've got is I can't find the charger for this. So that's what this video is about tonight. It took me almost 3 minutes to get to the point, but here we go. I'm going to modify this, not to the point where I replace this charge port with a different charge port. I'm going to give it an additional charge port somewhere probably around the sides, maybe, right there maybe. Not quite sure where I'm going to put it yet, but we'll figure out when we come to doing the next video, which will be when we do the macro for one of them. So this video is the thing I'm going to use to modify it. This, if you recognize it, anybody? It is a micro USB to lightning adapter. Essentially, you plug your micro USB charge cable into this, and then you plug that into your iPhone, and it charges your iPhone. And it's like an adapter essentially thing. But I found these are really, really good for converting into power inputs for micro USB, female, because it's a female micro USB. But the trick is, essentially, it's got like a plastic kind of glue holding the plastic that's wrapped around it. So the trick is this: what I found is, if you, a little bit of tissue paper, some pliers, and a lighter is all you need essentially. But what you do, you grip hold of the lightning side, because we're not going to be needing that anyway. That's not the important bit. This is so quickly run the lighter underneath it. Oh, you want to get it nice and hot but even, because you don't want to burn the insides of it. You just essentially want to kind of melt the glue, get the plastic a bit gooey. That way you won't cause too much damage to the inner bits that we need. Don't go crazy. We see how it's blackened, and then what we do, we get it with the tissue paper and we pull, and job's a good one. We now have the component we're going to be using for the mod. So move that to one side a second. Give this a second to cool down. Should be fine. Where have I put my blade? There we go. So that's very hot, so be careful with this afterwards, because it is literally something that retains heat some crazy amount. But this moment in time, just while it's still lightly warm, if you run a blade along either side very carefully, just piercing the plastic, you can feel it hitting the board underneath essentially, and it's a really kind of satisfying kind of slice. Just be careful you don't cut into your thumb, because obviously I can't be responsible if you hurt yourself. This is to be done at your own risk. I'm not gonna lie, it is quite satisfying when you're slicing through it, especially the plastic's nice and warm. It's one slip of a wrist and you're gonna lose a thumb, or at least a big chunk of it. So very carefully. I think we're good there, so I'll stick the blade in, I'll wiggle it about, stick it and wiggle, stick it and wiggle, stick it and wiggle, and you can see it's broke loose. There we go, lovely jubbly. We can now see the board inside. This is what we want. So we can get it on camera for you. And the other side. And essentially what we need from this is not really that much. Essentially we need this, but we don't really need this, so this can go. So it's a tiny little lean, put your nail on it, you'll feel it pop, don't tear it, and do it on the other side again, and a little click, and there we go. Good, I think that should do the trick. There we go. I think that's the one. Yep, and that should come free. I even think we've retained the pads underneath, which we might be able to solder directly to when we get a little bit more precision with our soldering, which again I'll show you. Because there's pads this side and pads on the other side. So if you need this for a modification, what I'm going to do is solder directly to the back here of where the USB meets the board, because I'm going to glue the board down as well, and hope that gives it a little bit more rigidity, of stiffness, because obviously a lot of inserts in it and pull outs and stuff like that will make it go loose throughout the ears. So this is what I'm going to use to modify this. So this will be able to be charged via micro USB and via the original Game Boy Advance charger. So it's the Game Boy Advance charger, I think, isn't it? I'm not too sure, or the DS original charger, whichever one it is, but you know what I mean. I've not got that unless I can dig it out, which I seriously don't think I'm going to be able to. So this is easy for me. So I'm going to be sticking this maybe there or something. Essentially, to start with, I'll probably just wire it to the back of this so I can get some charge into it. I've also not got a battery for any of these, so I've got some batteries to put in instead. So it's like a proper little Frankenstein this one's going to be. But it'll look good when done. It will definitely look good. I've got some good plans for this one. Oh, and obviously the DSIs, I'm looking forward to doing them. Right, so tune back into for this, the blue one. If you've got a preference which one you'd rather see me do in the next episode, I'm not filming it till tomorrow, so if anyone sees this tonight and wants to have a say in the video, grey or silver, which one do we do first? If not, I'll see you next time. Bye.